friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with the Contoured Chemist. So this video is a requested one. I'm not sure why I've never done one because I've done all about every single thing but eyeshadows. So I have like all about illuminators, all about highlights, contours, all of it. Probably because this one is difficult for me to try to figure out how I can share the most about our eyeshadows without taking 2 hours because we have a lot of shades. To be honest, I don't even know how many. I'd have to count. So I think I figured a way to show you guys all about our eyeshadows in an easy and straightforward way and a little bit more information as well. So if you want to see all about eyeshadows, keep watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed videos like this, and be sure to subscribe, and thanks for being here. Okay, friends, so eyeshadows, specifically Maskcara Beauty eyeshadows. We have an amazing selection of highly pigmented eyeshadows. I'm obsessed. It's all I wear now. So I want to show you guys swatches, talk a little bit about what colors we have and what brushes I recommend and all the things. So first of all, different shades. I have categorized our shadows into 9 different categories based on color. So hopefully you can compare swatches because let's be real, my arm is not big enough to put all of these colors next to each other. But hopefully this lets you compare the ones that are most similar. And yeah, so you can see all of the goodness. I usually start off by talking about priming the eye. Okay, so I'm gonna show you my favorite eyeshadow primers to begin with. In case you are an eyeshadow newbie, a little bit about how to get better wear time, or if you're like me and you have oily eyelids, you need to prime your eyes. So if you don't have oily eyelids, you might be able to use just our highlight cream over your eyes and you'll be good to go. I cannot do that or I will get creasing. So a couple of favorites is the Urban Decay. Let's see, this is Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is the anti-aging version. So this one lasts a really long time. It's a little bit pricier. So I've been using a dupe called Thank Me Later, and this is by Elizabeth Mott. It is from Amazon, half the price of this one, and it works the exact same way. So I recommend this one if you're new to eyeshadow primers. Pretty much you just put a itty bitty amount across the entire eye. I use my finger. You could also use a brush, and it's gonna give you much better longevity. So if you've seen any of my videos, I put that on, you know, clean skin, and then I have very blue eyelids. So I will use my highlight to even out my eyelid, and then I put my setting powder over that. So I have oily eyelids, so if I just use my creams, I will get creasing. So I have to set it with a powder in order to set that in place. Now, it's also a great method to get a better blend because if you think about it, if you're putting something sticky on your eyelid and then you're going straight in with a powder on the eye, that cream and the powder, it's gonna stick and it's not gonna give you a great blend. So I always recommend putting your setting powder over your eyes just before you go in with shadow, and your shadow's gonna blend so much better. You will notice a huge difference. So a couple of other primers I always use. One is the NYX White Primer. So this is great when you really want color payoff. So since it's white, it's going to eliminate your skin tone, okay? And so it's going to make any color you put over it a lot more vibrant. So I'm gonna kind of show you an example. What is a good color I could show? Let's see, how about Leo? So Leo on its own looks orange in the 10, okay? It's not quite so orange when you put it on. It's actually just a really nice warm shade. But if you apply it over a white primer, it is gonna be much more the shade in the 10, okay? So that white just eliminates, it doesn't sheer out as much, and you're gonna get a lot more color payoff. So the main time I use the white primer is for like the shimmery shades. I like them because it will give more of a foiled effect for the shimmer. So let me find one that's super shimmery. So something like ginger, I don't know why I'm attracted to the oranges today. If you just put it on like normal, okay, it's going to be, this one is very foiled to begin with, but if you put it on over, it's gonna be even more so. Can you tell the difference? So that right there had the white primer. Okay, so that is a great technique if you're really wanting your eyes to sparkle. So if you like foiled shadows, you might really love that. And in much the same way, you can use a setting spray. So either our Stay Spray or any other setting spray, or even water works in a pinch. And by using a wet brush dipped in setting spray, let's see, you can spray, okay? And then I'm losing hand space, and pressing that on, it's gonna give you that more foiled effect. Can you tell? It's very similar to when you use the white. You can press on with a wet brush a foiled shadow to get the same effect, and I love doing that as well, especially if you want more of a pop in the inside corner. Use a little bit of that Stay Spray and it will help go on even more. And my last one is a glitter primer. So this is also by NYX. This also works for making a more foiled effect, but this is a must-have if you are gonna use our glitter shadows. So we have 4 shades right now, and they can be messy if you're not using something for it to stick to. I always recommend a brush like the multitasker or your finger to apply glitter shadows. Otherwise, you're gonna get a lot of fallout and you're gonna get a lot of glitter on your face, and it makes glitter kind of a pain to use if it's messy. Like, nobody wants messy, okay? So all you do is you use a tiny bit, and it's almost like super glue for your eyeshadow. And then let's find, I'm just gonna stick with the gold shades today. This is Dollywood, and when you press it on, look at that. It sticks to it, no fallout, nothing. And look at that. Now, if you thought ginger was pretty, that is pure glitter, and it is so fun. So glitter primer is another one, but again, you can use this just with a normal shadow. It's really gonna decrease fallout and make those shadows stick, be more vibrant, more color payoff, all those glorious things. Now, alone without anything, these colors have major pigmentation, so you don't have to worry about that. But sometimes you just need a little bit more of a pop, you know? So, okay, now I started with primers. I'm gonna talk a little bit about brushes before we get into the swatches. Okay, so my very favorite eyeshadow brush that I feel like you can get pretty much any look you want with just one brush is the Eyeshadow Everything brush. So it's got this big fluffy end, okay? This end is amazing for going inside the crease or blending out any kind of harsh lines. And then this smaller, more pencil end brush is great for going under the lash line, or you can even use it for outside corner or even along the upper lash line to smudge out. It's just, it can do really anything. You can even apply by kind of, you know, pressing on. This is great for inside corner. This, if you use the side of the brush to press on more of those shimmery shades, really, you can do it all with this one brush. Now, if you've seen my videos, I am a brush fanatic. I use 3 of these every day, so I don't have to clean them. And I use all the brushes for all the things. So this is my favorite for the crease and to halo under the eye. Every day, without fail, I use that. Now, when it comes to pressing on shimmery shades, my favorite is the multitasker because it has these more stiff bristles. okay? And it really presses on color. So when you're pressing on color, it will give more pigmentation. So I like these for the shimmery ones like this. I love the small end for our Black Friday eyeliner, or you can use it for your brows. I like to do my brow highlight with it, inside corner. And I also like this other end to smudge the lower lash line or the upper lash line. So much you can do with that brush as well. I feel like this is one of the most underutilized brushes. I can't live without my multitasker because I use it on my face and my lips. So good. Okay, and then obviously our angled brushes. So it's meant for lining the eyes or for your brows, and I use 2 of those every day too. Okay, and then we're gonna go in with the blend and tap brush. So this is one of the more newer brushes, and I always use this small end for my outer corner, and I feel like it was more difficult for me. Some people have no problem with it, but I love the size of this brush versus this one, okay? So maybe it's because I'm really like, not lazy, but I don't like taking forever to do my eye makeup. I want it done quick and efficiently. And this brush, look how much surface area it covers. And it fits my eyes perfectly in that outer corner. So I really like tap into it, just like the name says. And then I just tap it right on the eye and do that outside corner, run it along the lower lash line. This more flat end, I really like to blend or do the lower, this brush, I didn't realize I was gonna like it so much. And it's amazing for nose contouring as well. And then this one technically is not made for the eyes, but I had to include it. The Best Blend Forever, because this end, if you compare it to these two, okay, it is really big. Okay, it's a lot bigger than the Eyeshadow Everything brush. And if you like to do a wash of color, so you are a low maintenance or you like quick, easy eye looks and you like to do a wash, which is just one shade all over the entire lid, this brush will be your new best friend because it applies it so quick. You guys know me, I love it quick. And that brush is just a game changer for that one all over wash color. Okay. So we've covered primers and tools. Let's go over a little bit about the different categories I came up with. So I get asked all the time for eyeshadow recommendations, and I kind of have this, not rule, but I don't like rules. You guys know I don't like rules. This guideline for creating an eye look with basically any shades of your preference, because everybody is drawn to different shades. Like, yes, there are some shades that'll make different eye colors pop more, but I feel like there's no wrong color for anyone's eyes. If you like it, then use it. There's no right or wrong eyeshadow looks. So my basic is 4 shadows, okay, to make up a square. Okay, so our smallest compact size holds like 2 full size, or it holds 4 eyeshadows, okay? It's made for 4. So most people will start with 4 shadows. It gives the most versatility because you can easily use 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can use that in a variety of ways depending on where you add it on the eye. The main 4 colors in the square will follow these main 4 categories. Okay, so my first one is a mid-tone matte. You guys have probably heard me say this a million times, but for carving out the eye and really contouring the eye and giving you depth and dimension, makes your eyes pop. You can use it on the lower lash line to define the lower lash line without being like harsh from a liner. Any mid-tone matte will do, depending on your preference. I normally recommend starting with a shade that's 1 to 2 shades darker than your natural skin tone. So everyone's skin tone is a different color. So you might be able to use a lighter shade than me, If you're darker than me, you're gonna have to go darker. So in this category, you'll see I have a pretty wide range, but they're all matte. So the key is that since usually people have more texture in this area than on their actual lid, you want to stick with matte shades there. You really don't want a whole lot of reflection of light right here on your brow bone. You want to keep it up higher under your brow to lift. And then this right here, you want to keep darker to pop, okay? So you guys know my favorite of all time is Bubba. So this is a warm brown. If you do not like warm shades, then I suggest sticking with Oak or Basic. Oak is a little bit darker. Basic is a nice neutral, or Bird, which is a nice neutral as well. It's just a different tone. So I'm wearing Bubba today. Bubba's my fave. So mid-tone matte. My next is going to be a highlight shade. So a highlight shade is normally shimmery, but if you have more mature skin and you don't like shimmers on your lid, then there is a light matte shade called Cupcake that you could use in the same way. My go-to will always be, and forever, be Sabrina. So Sabrina, I feel like works on almost everybody because it's a cream shimmer. It's not super shimmery, but it will give those inside corners a pop. If you find that you want to use something a little less shimmery, but you don't want a matte like Cupcake, then I recommend Rome. It's less shimmery and a little, just a touch darker. Can you tell the difference there? So I'm gonna put Sabrina in my square as my highlight shade, okay? So that shade is for under your brow, inner corner. You can use it as a wash all over the lid for an easy day look. You can use it on that inside corner to lighten and brighten, which is what I always do. You can use it so many different ways. So my next one is, so these two itself, you can do a whole lot of looks, okay? You can use this just in your crease and then use this on the lid. You can use this all over the lid and use this just to pop your inside corner and your brow. This look can go so easy. And this is a great daytime, easy look. Now, to step it up a notch, which I feel like most people on a daily basis will use three. They'll use these and then they'll use something fun. I call it fun because who does not like a shimmery shadow? They're just gorgeous. So my next one is shimmers. Now this is in a lot of different categories depending on the shade and the tone, but because I have broken them up into pinks, purples, and then blue and greens, and then the neutral ones. So your idea of neutral might be a little different than mine. I put all the golds in there. Anything that is not clearly purple or pink or blue or green is in the neutral category, okay? So ginger that I showed you before, that is neutral in my opinion. I think it's just gorgeous. And even gilded, which is one of my favorites. A lot of people feel like it pulls purple, but it's almost like burgundy. So this is neutral to me. So pretty. Shimmery. It's almost like coppery. I don't even know. It's hard to describe, but it's gorgeous. So a fun shimmer for the lid. This one's dark enough. You could even use it in the outside corner. You can use it under the eyes. The possibilities are endless, but I usually will stick with the shimmers on the lid, so because that's usually the place that has the least amount of texture, especially if you have more mature skin like I do on your eyes. And then the very last one is going to be darks. Okay, so this is what I consider to create depth on your eyes. So this is that outer corner shade, or you can use it along the lash line to create depth, to smoke out the eye. If you want a smoky look, use it on the lower lash line. These can be used as liners and even brow colors. Now, I don't recommend all of these for brows because some of these have a lot of red in them and some have shimmer in them. So definitely brows, you want to stick with a more cool toned, matte, dark shade, or if you have lighter brows, it doesn't have to be dark. Oak, which is in our mid-tone, is actually an amazing brow shade. Amazing, because it's not too warm, doesn't pull red. This is actually what I have on the outer corner of my eyes. So this is kind of, it can be mid-tone or it can be dark. I actually usually use this in the outer corner and then bring it up to use as my crease color as well. So this is a great multitasking shade that goes, and you can easily shear it out or make it darker if you build up the color. So let's see, let's just pick out Trust. Trust is my brow color, okay? And this is like Never Fail brown, okay? It's a gorgeous, just dark brown. It can be built up. It can be a lot darker depending on what you want, but it's a nice, not warm brown. That one is, at least. So there you go. That is an example of what I would recommend for a beginner eyeshadow palette. Something to highlight, a mid-tone matte for the crease, a beautiful shimmer for the lid, and then something to create that outer depth and dimension or to use as liner, smoke out the eye, whatever you want. There's so many possibilities. So that is the basics of building a palette. And again, there are no rules. So if you like certain shades, go for it. Let's talk a little bit about the different formulations that mascara has. So we kind of hit some of them, but let's go over them. So mattes. If something is considered a matte, that means it has no shimmer whatsoever, okay? No shimmer, and this is gonna create the least amount of texture, okay? If you have textured skin, you wanna stick with a matte because shimmery shades will reflect light, therefore they increase the look of texture. So mattes are just like they sound, no shimmer. Okay, now technically I don't think mascara calls these two different things, but I can tell from looking at all of our shimmery shades that some are more shimmery than others, okay? And so I consider, I don't know, like some of them that are probably considered mattes. So this is a matte shade that I feel like has somewhat of a sheen. Do you see the difference? So I would consider this more of a satin, okay? It's got a slight sheen to it that hits the light. That is London. I don't feel like there's really many other shades like that. Here's an example of another one that really doesn't have a whole lot of sparkle, but has a sheen, okay? That is on Wednesdays. I don't feel like I swatched that very well. So these are just some of the ones that are hard to categorize in my opinion. I would consider them more satins than a matte or a shimmer, okay? Another one that is kind of difficult to see on camera is Kin. It is shimmery, but it is really hard to see the shimmer, and I use it a lot on my outside corners, and sometimes it's hard to see because the shimmer is not, it's not crazy shimmery, it just has that beautiful sheen to it, okay? Can you see that? So a lot of people will say this is a matte. It's technically not, but just so you know the difference. Now, when I say, okay, so I showed you Rome, okay? Rome is one that I consider a shimmer, but I don't consider it foiled, okay? It's shimmery, but next to something like Blondie, this I considered foiled. Do you see the difference of how that catches the light? Okay, that is that's like hard to tell from looking at it in the pan or a picture online how different the formulations really are. So some of my favorite that are like shimmery but not super shimmery is like Crush. Okay, that is a shimmer. You can see how it hits the light. Okay, I have on my eyes today, I have Peppa. Okay, this is a great shade for every day. It's just a nice neutral pink. Okay, but you can see it's, whoops, it's not super shimmery, okay? Whereas online it looks super pink, but it's not. Another foiled shade, one of my all-time favorites. I consider it a highlight shade. It does look pink in the pan, and it is, but I'm trying to make sure I'm not swatching these on top. See how I'm talking like that is foiled. That is Soulmate. So pretty. So you'll see on my graphics that I have different, I have shimmers versus foiled versus mattes because I feel like some are much more shimmery than others. And if you have more mature skin, you probably don't want something that shimmery on your lid. Let's see if like Ginger that I showed you before, that one is definitely one that's foiled. A couple of colors that look very different swatched than they do online. One of them is Tawanda. Okay, Tawanda looks super pink. Okay, but is actually very gold. I don't even know if that's picking up on camera. Okay. I call it my rose gold. It's so pretty on the lid. It doesn't show as pink as it does in the tin. And then my crazy color, no joke. Every time I use this, I'm still astonished. Okay, it looks cream. It looks yellow almost. Okay, and you cannot see, but this is like the only one that is extremely iridescent. Okay. I don't even know if it's going to translate. It never translates on camera. And I don't know why. Maybe you can see. Oh, right there. I actually have this more in like the pink purple. If you have too much, it does look, yeah. Oh my gosh, it is not translating at all on camera. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is killing me. Okay, As You Wish does not look anything like it does in the 10. You can kind of see there. See how it almost is like purple? When that baby is layered over stuff, you cannot even see it. It is just an iridescent. So if you like Starlit Illuminator, which is also iridescent, that pink purple iridescent look, that is what that baby does. It is so tricky to the eye, I'm telling you. I want to compare two that look almost identical in the 10. I mean, when I first saw these next to each other, I was like, they're the exact same. So if you don't know, we had like an entire line of shades, okay? Then they came out with a whole nother line of like brand new ones, and they reformulated all of the old ones. So this is part of the original, and then this was one of the new ones. And I'm like, why would they make two colors that look so much alike? This is Bend and Snap. Let's see if I'm running out of arm space. Okay, so Bend and Snap, one of my favorites. It's almost neutral. It's purple, but I'm hoping this will translate. Oh my gosh, my fingers are getting dirty. And then this is Gigi. Okay, this is Gigi, this is Bend and Snap, okay? So it is darker, and this one is more foiled, and this one is more shimmery, in my opinion. But they are very similar. In case you're looking at both of them, you can kind of tell a little bit more that this one is more shimmery. So those are super comparable. And okay, now I'm gonna do my favorite because every time I swatch this, I just get giddy because it looks so crazy. But oh my gosh, it is like the most beautiful, satisfying swatch ever. Look at that. I mean, it is the most pigmented color I've ever seen in my life. That was just one simple swipe. That is As If, and as a forever clueless girl, lover, oh my God, best movie ever. I love that shade. So pretty. I use it a lot as liner or on the outer corner. It doesn't pull super purple on me. I just love it. So I didn't share any of the blues or greens, so I gotta pop a few on here real quick. Oh my gosh, this one is so pretty. Da Ba Dee. It's really hard to say. Again, one that is so pretty. That's a gorgeous liner. Bayou is super pretty. These are ones that I don't probably wear all the time, but they're so good. And let's show you one of the greens. How about number 33? I love this one too. Okay, shimmery green. Okay, so good. I am swatched up now. All right, last thing. So glitters, I swatched one of the glitters. Darks. I totally got off on a tangent with swatches. Oh, formulas. That's what I was on. So matte shimmers foiled. Okay, if you can tell, some are more pigmented than others. If you ever need these specific swatch pictures, I can send them and just email me. And then our very last category is creams. So if you don't know, we have 4 cream eyeshadows now, and then also a cream eyeliner. So the cream eyeliner is pretty straightforward. Black Friday is just a black matte cream, okay? Then we have the cream shadows. Now, I'm gonna preface this by saying these cream shadows almost come with like a protective layer on top, okay? First time you get them, really rub your finger, use the warmth of your finger and get off that layer, okay? And because you'll notice, you'll be like, it's not coming off, like there's no pigmentation. There is, you just haven't got to it yet. So this is spiced. Oh my gosh, where's my arm? Okay, so these are creams. They're so pretty. I have more videos on how I wear those on my Instagram highlights, so you can check that out, but I will swatch those as well. I hope this helped. Swatch pictures are coming up next of every category, and let me know if you have any specific questions on eyeshadows. I hope this helped some, and hopefully these swatch pictures will help you compare and let you pick out your next 4 square easier. Love you guys.